One more game stands between these teams and another round of lower bracket matches tomorrow. Evil Geniuses and Forward Gaming, they're 1-1 tied. One more game. Could be the end of it all, could be the start of it all, could be the continuation of it all. However you look at it, everyone wants to make it to the next day, and so far it is the question of who will be that team. And we're going to discuss who's going to be that team with BSJ, Pilot Eye, and Gods as well. And we have seen both teams win. I kind of think that EG won a little bit more dominantly than Forward Gaming earlier. Everybody nods a little bit, everybody agrees a little bit. So going into this third game, what are we thinking? What do we want to see? Brian, do you have any initial thoughts on this?
I feel like EG just outplayed themselves last game. I feel like it happened in the series in the upper bracket as well. I feel like they are their own worst enemy, and it's their game to lose rather than like Forward's game to win, I think. And let's just play normal dotes. I don't know. Like, just don't overthink it. Don't give a Spectre 80 CS at 10 minutes.
Simple ground rules for Dota 2.
Yeah. And then, like, wait, so this is how it was, right? EG had Centaur the first game.
Yes.
And Crit played it, right?
Yeah.
And then Forward had Centaur the second game.
So
and Mojo played it.
First pick Centaur, or more likely maybe a first stage ban on Centaur this
I mean,
time.
because both teams first picked Centaur, right? That's what happened.
Yeah.
First pick overall.
So, like, I don't think any of them really know what to do with it. Like, it's just getting confusing. Like, is it am I supposed to pick Monkey King versus this and put it in lane, or like, what am I doing? So, that hero is very interesting to look at.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. Like, a lot of these normal picks are getting banned out. So we're getting these weird carry matchups. Like, Luna versus Spectre is not good for Luna, like, in general. Like, you have to outfarm him heavily. So, I don't know, see what teams remember and what they'll pick.
Yeah, Centaur key hero, but the players themselves also some key players with MSS and Crit on some heavy impact roles. Gods, feel like those two are the ones to look at?
For sure. I mean, when it was mentioned by the panelists, when MSS has a good lane, good game, that's when Forward Gaming look amazing. And that's definitely been the case with the game they won and just this tournament and this team as a whole. And then for EG, Crit was very quiet last game on the Weaver, made a few nice rotations to help out the mid lane, but he was level 3 at like 6 or 7 minutes in. And just, I don't know, I'm kind of with Bulldog. I think this support Weaver is just maybe not a thing. Not totally sold that it can work.
I mean, it's like, I think it was first like thought of when people used to counter the Void, right? And you just put it support, and then like he has a clear purpose. You get Aghanim Scepter and you kind of save them.
But, like, what's this?
And
It's
no,
not
the
like
other
there's
one was
one big carry that you're saving
Yeah,
against
and
here. Spectre's doing AoE damage.
Yeah, and the other one was like with Drow, right? Like it was super strong.
Yeah.
And then people just, they think they can trick people.
Like,
it's the classic, you pick him and like this could be support.
The Axe Weaver is like super OP and broken in some games, and other games it just doesn't feel like it's going to do a whole lot. Against Spectre is one of those scenarios where I'm just like, well, is it going to help that much?
Yeah, Weaver's honestly a hero in the support role I don't fully understand. I feel like there's games where I'm like, eh, and then it like owns the game. Like they literally win because the Axe Weaver just saves everybody. And like he'll just take all the dangerous farm and be unkillable, but as a support. In that game, it's like that doesn't feel like that's something he can do. But because by the time that he's starting to do that, Centaur already has a blink, Lina has a Yules, and they can actually kill. You saw Pugna actually. That was interesting to me. I think that was really cool by Universe. We saw it happen multiple times where he wasn't trying to kill the Weaver, but he just knows Weaver's job is to like occupy the dangerous part of the map, and he just like nuked him, decrept him, ulted him, and Weaver survived with like 100 health, and he's just out. He just stopped. He just bullies him away. That's a big part of map control, and I don't know. It's a weird hero, and I don't like it as much as support.
Well, maybe we're not going to see it this time. Over the last few days, there's been a lot of focus on the mid lane, especially Smil, of course, yesterday in their match against NIP. How do you feel this mid lane matchup is going? Because the first game that we had, it was dodged by both teams, it seemed, a little bit. Second game was a little bit more even.
Maybe not being as influential as we thought. I mean, teams are just finding ways to put heroes in places or drafts so that they're not getting counterpicked. Ban TA, pick Lina, kind of, for example.
Both these games kind of turned out like the better hero for the game, did better.
Yeah,
kind of won.
The same thing that NIP did, It's like you've got this mismatch where Fata is not going to outlane Sumail, so you pick him heroes that suit his style of mid. Pick him a DK, and he's going to go even or actually, do just fine.
Yeah, both games haven't really been a one-on-one. The first game, like you said, was a dodge. The second game was a lot of ganks on the Lina, and then ended up being like a 2v2, 3v3 mid pretty early on in the game.
What do you guys think about the first pick, second pick? So game 2, EG chose second pick. This time around, they won the coin toss and they're choosing first pick. Does that say anything to you
Centaur.
guys?
That's what it says, Centaur.
It's
to
a
me.
centaur, but the confusing part is like they might ban this centaur, right? And then the axe will still be on the pool, and then we'll see like because both teams lost with axe.
Something's
don't know,
gonna be
like-
in the pool that isn't
Yeah.
normally in the pool.
So like, are they gonna be like are they gonna first pick axe now, or they're not? Like, do they get scared? I don't know.
We just ban all of them. Are you still banning Arc Warden?
Oh,
Is there going to
yeah.
be a hero going through that has been first phase
Or-
banned in almost every game today? For example, Io.
I think Arc Warden's a premier second pick when you have first pick.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's maybe
Mm.
something
Well-
what EG's thinking about too.
Or you're just looking to first stage pick one of those big carries, TB Morphling, because we haven't seen that this series.
Yep.
We've seen teams picking these 3, 4, 5s in the first stage. At some point, I think you just have to say, let's make sure we have that normal game of Dotes. You know,
Yeah.
have a TB on your team. You're not
Yeah.
getting that normal game of Dotes when you're forced to pick a Luna.
Nah.
Bulba literally asked me, like, he asked me in the room over there. He's like, "What do you think of our Luna pick?" He's like, "There's another heroes in the pool. All of them are gone." I'm like, "Yeah. I mean, what else are you gonna pick?" I didn't have any problem with it. It's just nothing else feels good. It's not like, yay, Luna.
Poor Io. 93%.
How many
banned.
nerfs on this hero?
At this point, it's just the
Oh.
Ag Scepter thing that's keeping it alive.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if they were to buff Io and then just remove that. I think like it's kind of like a cool mechanic, but it just
Makes
makes,
it-
the hero
yeah.
so niche. But like, I
Maybe
don't know.
make it a level 20 Talon or something.
or
at
yeah,
least.
later on,
In fact, level
Level
15
25.
just feels way too early.
and XP talent on
Yeah.
Io too. So
Yeah. It's not it's not really level 15 even at that point.
Right. Let's see if they ban centaur, the winner of this series.
Well, we got an Undying banned again. EG tried it out previous game. Weren't happy with it. Don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
All the big
I wonder what
carries
they're
are still in the
thinking about
pool.
there it is, and
Yeah.
then Axe.
That's
So-
what the thing, right? There's axe.
Game 2 TBPL were banned out first stage.
Yeah.
Game 1, none of them were banned.
All right. They keep going with it. I like this. I think it's correct.
Let's give me a Terrorblade, man.
I think they're going to go Axe TB. That'd be
Actually-
my guess.
Oh, if you pick Terrorblade on forward, then they're just gonna pick Morphling. So I guess you don't pick Terrorblade for forward. I could see EG picking Terrorblade.
I think that's very likely here.
But shouldn't forward then just pick the Morphling themselves? Because otherwise, what
I-
are they going to do against Terrorblade?
It's like pick Morphling and then they may just start going into some morph counters and not even going Terrorblade. So it's
You need
don't
to be
wanna
considering Arc
overthink
Warden
it.
here too. Like forward
Yeah.
needs to be thinking,
Mhm.
make sure our two
Mm.
picks are not owned by Arc Warden.
Exactly.
There's a lot to think about with these two picks.
Yeah.
I mean, then Terrorblade is. I mean, the weird thing is people say Arc Warden counters Terrorblade. I don't know, man. Like Terrorblade does a lot of nice stuff.
I think it's
good
because
versus
of the
Arc Warden.
bubble.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I can think of.
because he has these illusions to run into stuff, right?
It counters a split push too, though. Like
Like,
usually,
yeah,
dealing
kind of,
with
but like your split, like you have illusions of cooldown at 12 seconds, right? He has this one clone.
Okay.
Ooh.
Shaman is one.
Oh,
That's high after what? All right, we've seen a couple.
That
of
was so
times.
fast. Was that a misclick?
That had to be a misclick.
No, this is not a misclick.
tied.
They're ready to backstroke on some
Backstroke
boys
out of
here,
this
boys.
tournament.
Yeah,
What is-
backstroke
we're-
out of these tournaments.
We're out.
What's happening?
Hey,
I
we've
wasn't going
seen
to be that rude about it. But
When did they last play tied?
They have not played at this tournament, that's for sure. At least unless they played it on a different role. Like we've seen Ice play tied twice this tournament, 1 win, 1 loss. But for Forward Gaming, this is their first
Yeah,
tie
there it
this
is.
tournament.
Is it good versus Arc Warden? No, right?
Tied,
really.
no, tied it's not, I don't think.
natural Silver Edge builder, Hex builder.
Yeah. I'm
both
just
of
thinking
which are
that
not
in the lane is
removable.
like, whatever, right? Arc Warden kind of is last hits,
I have to believe this is like an MSS tide. There's no way this is a core tide.
right? Yeah,
And
it's
then
not so
Shaman
tricky.
onto the 5.
But like it,
Max Gush, let's go.
yeah, but you kind of saw this Arc Warden coming, right? As you said, like,
Yeah.
It was either going to be that or a TB or something.
so yeah, I hope they figured something out.
Tied just does not feel
like,
like a hero right now.
no,
It
like-
is some kind of pocket strat. These guys, they've prepared this, and they're like, okay, you know what? This could be our last game in the tournament. We've got to pull it out now. Otherwise, we are gonna regret not using it. This is-
They're gonna pull it on, and I see this Titan around.
I mean,
It's not even like a hero that I'm sure Universe wants to play or anything.
I no. They like zoomed in on his face. He was kind of nodding a bit, like. So, I don't know. It's not good versus Axe, right? Like in any way.
No.
Like I don't see like
Yeah, Axe has a non-purgeable low cooldown
yeah,
stun.
right. And then like I guess he has low armor, so you can gush him. So,
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Spectre is gone, that's a good ban.
Yeah, very good ban.
Yeah, PL
On
and
PL
Spectre
too,
both
yeah.
Yeah,
gone.
PL probably the only good carry in this meta that's good against Arc Warden.
Yeah, they need something to get on top of this coordinate.
Let's go Slark, boys.
So, yeah, why
they
not?
have Axe now. You know,
Right.
we're picking
Nah,
Slark.
doesn't
Honestly, all the heroes that are good against Arc Warden, right, like in terms of the carry role, all suck right now. So that
Like which,
I
which?
think adds a lot. Like all the
Like
like all these Slarks, honestly.
Oh.
Like, I'm saying these
All of
Slark Ursas, these like heroes
Okay.
that like jump on you and
all
like
of the ocean heroes.
Yeah.
So,
So,
Tidehunter, Slark.
Forward gaming, some stats. Tidehunter has been played once in the last 3 months.
okay,
25 days ago, it was a win against Jay Storm.
okay.
Oh.
Who played it though?
That's what I'm trying to
Snaking
find out now. Let's see if I can correct
Like
it.
Lifestealers good against Arc Warden too.
It
Like
was
these heroes that are on you.
Oh,
Played,
yeah.
played by Universe.
Wow. We
They had
only have
a-
3 Ursa matches.
Yeah.
But Universe played it.
This could
Okay.
actually be a lifestealer game. Like I would want to see more picks though before I pick that hero, because he's good versus both of these guys. Honestly, I mean
Okay.
he's good versus Arc Warden if he has he needs something
we're
to.
seeing
He needs,
Tide
he needs a
out
way to
there.
get in.
Yeah, he's gonna tie.
Lifestealer's coming back.
Okay,
Oh,
I like
there
the-
it is. Global TPN. There you go.
I think this is good.
And Fest into the teleport.
This is what I talked to Mojo and Yawar outside, I think, and then like I was discussing Arc Warden, right? I'm like, yeah, Naga can probably do something like Sleep Meteor Hammer. You can kill the things with your illusions, and then I was like, yeah, Furion too, maybe you can like gank him, tank the Spark Release with the Treants.
You think it's a core Furion?
That I don't know.
I
That's-
wouldn't mind it.
I think yeah. I mean, you can do this right. You do Core Furion with Support Tide, and you gush and you hit them with Treants.
That was a common lane for a period of time, like maybe 6 months ago, I feel.
I just feel like Tidehunter is just not a good support. Like he's even worse support than he is core hero.
Do you think it's just going to be Axe support for sure now? Because I feel like you need something that tanks this crap. Like all this stuff from Furion and Tidehunter.
Mm-hmm.
You can do like something really good against the trees, like Jakiro or something, but I don't.
Yeah.
They go Wyvern. Oh yeah, Wyvern. Duh. Yeah, that's good. Doesn't like tank, but it deals with the split push pretty well. It's like a hero you just stick in the dangerous area and you're like,
Yeah.
slow down the push, get some levels.
You can think about. Here. Invoker, TA is still okay, but they have a counter paired.
Just not troll.
Oh my
I
god,
think
if
we're
they
seeing
troll
a
here.
troll.
Oh, carry Fury.
Do they dare pick another Spectre's ban on top?
Oh, Morphle
there you
is
go.
good.
There you go. There you go.
That's alright. I think.
Yeah, I like that pick.
Yeah, I think it's hard. Yeah, the Fury kind of stops the axe from cutting too. So, like, if they wanted to do that. I think it's very hard to cut with the Fury.
like-
Morphling's really good against Wyvern.
Mm.
It feels like a good place to pick it too, because it's flexible. If you see a
Yep.
good mid
Yeah, yeah,
matchup,
yeah,
you
yeah,
send
yeah.
a mid. Otherwise, you just secure its lane in the safe lane, and then you get that last 10th pick for the
Yeah.
mid counter pick. So
Yeah, it's really good.
picking it here seems.
I
Really
wonder
strong.
though, like Arc Warden versus Morphling mid. What is that? Like, what happens there?
I feel like Morphling just out base damages you, right?
Think so? Probably, right?
Arc Warden maybe
Arc
has
Warden
a better
with
harass.
1
but
agi growth and Morphling with 5.8 when you more full agi.
The spark rates maybe annoy you though.
No, yeah, because Morphling usually struggles versus like bursts, stuff like that, or like splash. But I don't think that's Arc Warden. No, it should be good. It should be good.
You need something to threaten this morph, maybe Earthshaker, Earth Spirit, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, for his game, like their lineup is actually kind of coming together. You know,
They have a
Like,
plan.
This Tidehunter is not looking that stupid anymore.
Yeah, I like Lena too for EG.
For
I-
yes,
you need
Yeah,
something that
Lena is pretty cool.
I mean, it was their biggest complaint for the first game,
Oh,
right?
no,
Not
Tiny
having a
is
plan.
really good. Tiny is
sometimes you
really-
just forget about these heroes that are
Yeah.
cool.
Zero lanes fine versus everything they can put there. Like if you're not careful with Morphling, you're probably just dying.
Right, 2 picks remaining.
I would still like for it to have like more, like to get in on them, like just jump this, like chase this Arc Warden, chase this Wyvern. Because they're gonna have Axe Tiny, like they, like later on in the game, they're not gonna be doing that much. So it's gonna be like a lot up to this Arc Warden. I think EG they need to get something more team fighty. I don't know what they could get. It's probably an Axe support, right?
The core tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they would get
I'm digging Underlord.
Underlord? Yes.
You think so? It won't be S4 on tiny then?
Everyone's been saying they don't like mid tiny, but I feel like with a hero like Arkward, mid tiny is pretty good.
They just need that. They just need a team fight. Underlord? No. I haven't seen lane. He was fine versus lane. Laning versus Morphling, I guess. It's just like if going up against either Rasta or Furion can be like super annoying.
I just want something that buys a bunch of supporting items, like something that just enables the other heroes on this team.
Makes sense. Makes
Arkward
sense.
carries. Like from what we've seen so far, this hero just has 30k net worth 40 minutes into the game and does everything else for you.
So like, yeah, just get a hero that's going to be able to buy time, create space for Arkward to farm.
Just walk down lanes. Some hero that walks down lanes, because Axe doesn't do that. Wyvern doesn't do that. Tiny doesn't do that.
Could we see a return of the Venomancer?
Oh yeah, Veno.
I was thinking about Venom. I don't think it's that good for them, but maybe it's good for forward. Like it's not that good versus Arkward, but it's really good versus Tiny Wyvern and Axe.
Well, they ban out the Husker.
Are we
Well,
getting like another Invoker or something?
I wonder. Oh, maybe this is the only hero that does really well versus Tiny or something.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's probably not that good of a Husker game anyway. Alright.
Might become on with what EG want to pick
I have
here.
no idea what EGU actually wants to pick.
But this, as you say, they need some more teamfighted things. Either like buying teamfight items or having some like comfortable spell. Phoenix is banned. Oh, they go the complete
Skywrath.
opposite. Alright.
Keep in mind, Skywrath can silence without cast point, aka if you have it on Tidehunter and you continuously cancel, you can silence him before he ravages, if he blinks in, right?
Yes,
Yeah, sure.
that is
Yes.
absolutely true. No cast time on that ability.
So it's a classic Axe Skywrath lane,
Axe
right?
guy, yeah, against the
Mhm.
Morphling.
And then it's Wyvern Arc versus probably, I don't know actually, Prophet Tidehunter, I guess. Okay.
So yeah, that's why they banned the Husker, because they want to send the tiny mid most likely.
And if they were considering a Shadow Shaman core, I think that Skywrath kind of put them off of it.
Can you morph versus tiny mid? Does that match up?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
If you don't want him to lane against the Axe guy.
I
guess
they're
if
just gonna
you-
pick Monkey again, but I don't know if it's good.
Yeah. It's not that easy, right? I'm not.
think
seeing
it's a
something
hero you-
obvious.
TA maybe?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking about TA. Like, I think it's okay. I think it might be fine.
I don't imagine UR is calling for the monkey, because that's only Rezo's hero, and they need
Come on,
a
TA.
UR hero.
Morana.
That's
Oh, I
the
think
comfort hero.
that's okay. I don't know though. The lane, this Tiny is gonna definitely like have a really good game. If the Morph Tiny matchup is like not something
I want to
that
see
I
who's
don't
playing
understand.
core between Nature's Prophet and the Tide. I think that's a big deal.
Well, Resolution is playing the Morphling, and you are Morana, so that is already
Hurry up,
locked
guys.
in.
Gotta make predictions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with my instincts. I think forward has better team fight, so I'm gonna go with them.
What would you
for the
rather see,
Tidehunter.
Brian? Core Tide or Core Furion?
I'd rather see Core Furion this game. Actually, no. I think I'd rather see Core Tide. I feel like against what EG has, Tiny has like too many easy pickoffs if it's a Nature's Prophet core. And
MSS
they
Tidehunter.
make a Nature's Prophet core, so then I was gonna decide based on that. So I'll go with my gut on that feeling. I'll go with EG.
All right, gods.
Good with EG. Arc Warden's winning games today, and feels like the hero hasn't been addressed by Forward's draft.
Has the hero been addressed? Has Arc Warden been addressed? Trent and Zayori, that is the question. Is Arc Warden gonna have a free game?
What do you think, Trent? What do you got?
I don't know. These Arc Warden hero. This was my goal coming to this tournament, was trying to understand this hero a little bit better. And it feels like some teams still just aren't devoted to doing that, because some teams will first pick it, like we saw from Fnatic. Worked out well for them, obviously, despite having an entire draft trying to counter it. So yeah, that's the question. I like the fact that Pi was given tips though in between a panel. I mean, what is that? Just like, yeah, pick Nature's Prophet. Oh, look, here they are. So
Coach
see how
Pilot
that
Eye,
works
but it works out.
at least he still chose forward. He went with his,
Yeah, there you
he
go.
didn't lead them one way and then ditch them for EG. So I like that he stuck to his guns.
I like that MSS is on Tidehunter here. He was hitting Ravages with Centaur last game, so what is he going to do with Tide this game?
Can only imagine.
enough.
Looking forward to hearing your words about it.
Thank you very much, Sheever. All right, Trent. So what do you think overall? Which draft are you favoring? What's your gut check here?
The draft. Oh, man. It's a storied rivalry, eh? I think overall, I kind of have to side with this Arc one. It just looks so good. I do agree that I think Tiny's going to have a good game. I am liking EG's draft coming out of this one, but I certainly can see the road to victory there for Forward Gaming, as we like to say. But you know, I was just thinking, 2015, right? Bulba, AUI. Bulba was coaching at the time when EG won TI, and now here they are coaching versus one another, finishing their drafts, and they meet up in the hall outside to say, "Oh, I see what you did there." I've heard lots of banter back and forth between the crews.
How far we've come.
I tell you what. But we've also gone into the game, so please join us.
Let's do it.
Come along.
S4 on the axe once again here, though, Trent. This is a redemption game. Last match was absolutely brutal for S4, and I think a combination of he might have made a few missteps. The lane could have gone a little bit better, but Forward played around this axe so well. There were not many easy opportunities for S4 to get big calls, and I wonder if they'll be able to do it again here.
As effective as the creep cutting was, oh my god, SVG, the fisticuffs. That's totally his attitude.
I like the Samael Mahalo here.
Yeah.
Hitting the waves.
Hang 10, baby. But anyway, I think the problem was that S4 did indeed get quite a bit of farm. He had a 5-minute or so, 540, I think, on the Vanguard, and then 12 minutes on the Blink Dagger, and you're like, oh man, S4 is ready to get rocking and rolling, and then he died 3 times in a row.
Yep.
And then I think it was 8 minutes to lead a Blade Mail or something. You're like, oh geez, this game fell off real hard. But part of that, I do believe, came down to that Pugna and the really early pressure, because that took away so much of the space on the map to farm that what was left was given all to the Invoker and all over to that Luna. So S4 was definitely one who got shafted. He did try and move around the map and create a Sunstrike ganks, but couldn't get those popping at all. So in this game, maybe the Nature's Prophet on the core here for Universe can get that same effect going. Oh my goodness, he's even getting glamour shots now, this Observer.
Wow, there he is.
Sprinking and
in
posing.
the flesh.
But yeah, so I'm kind of looking to see if Universe can just be Pugna again here, basically.
So mid lane, we're going to have Resolution on the Morphling, SVG backing him up. It'll be a 2v1 for now against Sumail to try to salvage this lane for the Morphling, but right away Fly on the Winter Wyvern will make that rotation, use his Arctic Burn, and start chipping away at these heroes, forcing Resolution already to eating one of those shared tangos.
Yeah, just so low on HP. This is terrifying to be in.
Yeah, that's the big question mark for me. Skywrath, Axe, an incredible duo to try to put pressure on this Morphling. Not going to be an easy game for Rezo, I don't think. Up top, S4 also taking a lot of damage in this initial wave. Tidehunter has leveled up that Gush already.
But, how fast did they pick this, too, right? Just instant into the Shaman Tide.
They were ready.
They had sort of an idea going here. I don't know if they knew right away if it was going to be an MSS or a Universe Tidehunter, but MSS, I mean, support Tide benefits. The Gush actually does scale pretty well. If you can, level it up and max it first, it is really good. 7 armor reduction. It can do things like help you head to the Roche Pit. He, of course, has a massive ultimate. It kind of reminds you of Brewmaster, where it's oh, the support Brew works because he just kind of gets his ulti off and things go well for you. Maybe needs one item like a Blink Dagger.
Mid lane, Resolution,
oh, wow.
That's your first blood.
Just enough damage there.
And it happens like that. A Splinter Blast to secure the kill. Fly with some bonus gold, 358 to get this one started. You might have that Eye of Scotty cosmetic, but rough start there for Rezo. And down bottom now, Arteezy will actually get a kill onto Universe.
Way in the back there. Yeah, we're thinking about this possibilities of the Axe Skywrath, but just Skywrath Arc Warden, I mean, same logic. It is constant, annoying spam being thrown out, and even the Treant's not enough to help deal with the Spark Wraith harass.
Annoying spam that you can't really get away from. Universe TP's back into the lane and right away. Crit hits him with some damage, though out of clarity, so I think we're going to see our Skywrath take that free first class ticket back to the well.
It's a beautiful sight.
Sad
the
story
OG
that
hero
is.
here. Shout out to the big bad bird, the man himself, starting this trend off.
Courier mid, it'll be okay for now. A Resolution taking a lot of damage. Sumail not able to finish off the kill, but asserting their dominance over this squishy Morphling.
Yeah, this Tiny game already looked good, and you're like, okay, how do we stop this Tiny? What do we do? Okay, well, we'll put 2 heroes mid versus the Tiny. But that bringing in the Wyvern just suddenly, it feels so much worse now.
Yeah.
It was
It's even
already
more
going to be
burst
bad.
damage.
But through all this, Rezo is still getting those last hits, right? He's 11-2, so let's see if he can try and keep that up. But at the current moment, all that damage on the Tiny just allows Sumail to control this lane and keep it out of reach for Rezo.
Exactly, and it just gets worse from here. It feels like, Tiny's burst damage scales very well with some of those early levels. He's already picked up that regeneration rune in the bottle. Down in this bottom lane, Universe still taking a lot of harassment, but able to survive through it this go-around.
They just like salve up Rezel there, and yeah, MSS just chasing S4 away. Good idea. Use the camp there, try and put out some damage back there, but not great. I mean, no one's just in the lane, right? That doesn't feel too fabulous.
Yeah, I think Yawar is pretty happy with that. A free farming Mirana.
S4 is not winning this fight.
There's no way MSS gets this kill. There's no way, Trent.
The Battle Hunger move speed plus the boots will be enough.
Now the salve.
Yep. Oh, hello. Almost cut him on the way back, though.
Ty's got boots himself. Meanwhile, the poor Nature's Prophet has to TP back. Tough lane for him. And back to the mid. Resolution continuing to struggle. Probably going to have to eat this next healing salve as well.
I have to say, much like last game where they were kind of trading a free game on a Spectre versus a free game on an Axe, this doesn't feel too great to be trading free Mirana for Arc Warden. I feel like the Arc Warden, you know, getting off to this very early start, quick Necro, quick into the Midas thereafter, sounds like a pretty bad way to start your game, especially when the Tiny is the other core that's doing well. I definitely think that S4 is the least important one.
See a setup in the mid, Shackles onto Sumail, but flies right there with an Arctic Burn as well as a Splinter Blast. Keeps his Tiny safe. I would agree with you, though. Definitely more afraid of an Arc Warden than a Mirana, especially how this series has panned out so far. We've seen the power of this Arc Warden if he gets that momentum. We'll see S4 surrounded by 3.
That's a lot of creeps, though.
SVG with the Shackles. He's a little too close, and that'll be a dead Shadow Shaman.
Oh, at the
Resolution
same time,
also
though.
fell.
Yep. Sumail gets himself a kill. Looked like Crit moved in there with the Ancient Seal and the Concussive Shot to help seal that one off.
Advantage for EG there. S4 getting a small stroke of luck, perhaps, that he was close enough, despite being stuck in the shackles, for that counter helix to find him a kill. He got that kill before he went down, so got a little bit of extra experience to his name.
MSS coming mid. Okay, they're going to go with the arrow, the leap.
Sumail should be done for here. Other Shock bringing him low, and Yawar actually the one to bring him down. So a nice early rotation from this Mirana. Looks like they're going to put Rezo in the top lane. They're going to pull a full lane swap.
Yeah, taking a page of the old EG book. That Radiant off lane feels very secure.
I mean, they had to do something. This Morphling was absolutely struggling.
Yeah.
Mirana much better suited to deal with this duo mid. As I say that, he takes a lot of damage, able to survive, but dominance has been asserted.
Oh, and even an Arcane Rune down bottom there for a Skywrath Mage, perhaps one of the most obnoxious ones, but he's going to be giving over to his best buddy there, Sumail, once again on these early phase boots.
Sharing is caring, Trent.
And now S4
Be in
found
trouble
out
once again.
here.
Universe using that global presence. And get picked up by the Cold Embrace. Is this actually going to be enough to keep S4 alive? Does not look like it. Universe stuck in the trees. He'll just TP out as Skywrath rotates in. Forward, tie it up, 4 apiece.
Even though he doesn't get to stay there, I feel like Fly is just having such an impactful game right now in this Winter Wyvern. Just getting these Cold Embraces to delay that kill, all that pressure on the mid lane. And maybe with these points in Splinter Blast, he can help delay top with his axe. He's wrapping in behind here with the Skywrath Mage. Some potential here with the Silence. SVG still very low, but they're not going to go for it.
Resolution.
Oh, SVG, he just gets caught out here by S4.
Yep, spins. This isn't going to be great. Fly able to finish him off with another Splinter Blast. Resolution does have some stick charges here and the Infuse Raindrops. Should be able to survive, but still a tough time for this Morphling.
And with the angle he took there, that probably won't even give away the ward, honestly.
Now the
Flying
Moonlight
instantly goes
Shadow.
home.
Where's Yawar headed? Right now, this is just an open lane mid for Sumail, so...
Yeah, what is this game? Very odd to have so many of these open lanes this early in the game, but it feels like there's always one on this map so far. And all these rotations away from Artesian, yet he still holds very high in the old net worth chart, just behind the Mirana at this point.
Yep. Yawar still number 1, despite going for a rotation there. Going to find the opening with the Moonlight Shadow, and back to farming we go.
We've seen how good Ford have been in terms of offering up some space to help those supports catch back up.
Yep.
And we'll see if they can do it again here with MSS. Obviously, it was pretty important on a Centaur War Runner. I'd argue maybe even more so on a Tide Hunter.
Yes. Getting close to level 5 on the Tide. MSS actually holding on to a point. We'll see up top. Universe Using that teleportation again, looking for a kill onto Crit. Trying to find his way through the trees, but Resolution will waveform in and bring him down. There is a Tempest double up here, though. SVG does get off a set of shackles, but again, the Splinter Blast is all there.
Gives the kill to the Tempest double, too. Winter Wyvern was such a good pick this game.
Certainly feeling his impact thus far. The Necronomicon, it's out on Arteezy. This is just the beginning, Trent.
Yeah, he has no boots, though, so diving this deep, he's probably dead.
SS comes in from behind. There's a Gush to start things off. Yawar leaping all around. Starstorm for some extra damage. Arteezy with the TP will be interrupted as SVG comes in with his shackles.
Oh, get those Necros. Got a gold handed over. Sumail down here, though, wants to punish. Thinking about a toss play with Crit, perhaps?
Thinking about it.
You might want to use that damage, yeah.
Well, they're going to go right in on the
Much
Shadow
easier.
Shaman. Easy pickoff for Sumail. Not sure if they'll be able to find much more here, but meanwhile up top, Universe and Resolution push into the tower, and that will be a tier 1 down, going the way of the Morphling.
And this is what you're hoping for, I think, right now in this game. See that Pugna-esque hero. Rezo, pretty low.
S4 is only level 5, though, so no Culling Blade.
Yeah, they can just drive him back. No real commitment possible. And that'll be nearly 6 here for MSS, but Crit will snag it first. Starts to rotate out with Skywrath Mage. And Sumail thinking about the Blink Dagger first this game. I think Blink or Shadow Blade are going to be quite fine. Both just designed to try and pick off this Nature's Provident Morphling when they're most vulnerable.
Feels like the Blink is a little more standard. I think we've seen that first more commonly. Down bottom, though, going to see a chase onto Crit. More shackles come out. Magnetic Field trying to buy him some time.
That's going to be 4 bounties again at the 10-minute mark. I think that's what happened last game, too. Right when things were starting to look very good for EG, Forward had all 4 bounties picked up.
Winner's Curse, a lot of damage onto SVG, not quite enough for a kill.
Ooh,
And
MSS very liberal with the tips today.
That's true. He's feeling good after that last game, so just trying to keep up the momentum, I suppose. Vanguard on the way for S4, much later than last game. So about 10.5 minutes. You see that Vitality booster picked up.
Ah, man. The difference when your axe can't just creep cut.
Yeah.
Staggering. Truly.
Still not bad farm for the axe, though. And our Tide Hunter is now 6. So some options for MSS to deploy the big team fight mechanic.
They're looking for the kill top. They have the smoked up Tiny and Skywrath Mage, but Resolution. He seems to think something's not quite right here. Where is that Tiny? Haven't seen him in a while. Scan won't connect. He's just outside of it.
Oh, wow.
But they're still hunting. Smoke will break on Crit. He says, hello, he's here, but
Waveform TP. Got no way to get there. Well, great game sense, though, from Resolution. TP's out just in time and goes right back to farming.
yeah, gotta love those not panic TPs home or anything, just right back to farming. And MSS, he's been getting that space as we were discussing. It's what we've been so good at. That is a core axe, by the way.
And this is basically a core Tide Hunter at this point.
Yep.
He's supposed to be a support, but he's backstroking down here as he imagines the farm against S4 going, you know, I think I'm about even with this guy. He's got a mechanism queued up next.
All right, you going to free ball this arrow? Oh, he's going to hold out on it.
Now there's Starstorm and even Universe going to join this party, get in on some of the experience and transition this into a tier 1 tower push. The Vipes, they're going to be deployed.
That felt a little, if it's not just me or that seemed a little unnecessary.
What, calling them Vipes or using the
No,
ward?
using the snakes. I feel like this is a very dead tower. I mean, sometimes the shaman ends up dying and he has snakes. You're like, why didn't you just throw him down, man? But just felt like, you know, I don't know. If they have this forward ward, I feel like it kind of felt like a good moment to maybe push for 2. But SVG, he is a very reserved guy. Avery just chilling.
I think with the ward down, you're absolutely right. You almost want them to come try to mount a defense of some sort so you can get that jump, but absolutely secures the tower.
I mean, they can't see Sumail, so they never know if maybe he has the Blink Dagger or something. He's actually just kind of close. He has a haste rune, so fully understandable. Very easy to say from our omnipotent perspective when we are clearly not omniscient.
No, it's a fair point. Definitely the timing where you want to be aware of that tiny Blink Dagger and not give him just a free pickoff when you could have gotten an easy tower. Arrow, though, hits S4. Very nicely done by Yawar. That ward up on the high ground, paying some dividends as they'll get another kill on this axe. Now a dominating streak for the Mirana.
He's having a hard day.
Yep.
S4. Well, these the older offlaners aren't doing too hot, it seems.
Yawar having a really good game on this Mirana so far. Feels like he's been all over the map, but it's working out. 4-0-2.
Yeah, constantly securing those kills, so keeping his own net worth up high and just creating more ease of space for resolution. But Arteezy looking to give some more space inside the EG. Yeah, so much vision here. Makes it very difficult to try and collapse and defend here from Forward Gaming.
Get some eyes on Sumail. I think they've seen this Blink Dagger now. SVG needs to be a little careful.
S4 just called a massive wave of treants and creeps up top. It's so much gold.
Moonlight Shadow. Perhaps looking for a go onto Sumail, but he will blink back to his side of the river before they can catch an initiation. They do have a ward down, so pretty good intel there.
As the Moonlight ends, though, there's an Invis rune on Yawar, too, so could be thinking about a go here. Now it's just S4 continuing to farm up here and try not to farm those, or rather feed away those treants this time.
Farm he desperately needs only, what, less than halfway to the Blink Dagger at 15 minutes. This is not where you want your axe to be.
Snakes are back up, so Sumail, a quick go here, but already got that morph off from Rezo.
It's just not enough damage.
Baiting with that ward on his own high ground.
Be a little wary of the Ravage here. Level 9 Tidehunter.
You saw the ward instantly pinged from crit too. They had a ward of their own. I think they got out of the vision before they smoked though, so they might get caught off guard here. In fact, Arteezy walking down.
Smoke still hasn't been popped. SVG leading the charge on his brown boots windlace right now. Sumail, they're gonna break the Blink Dagger. Arrow comes in and it will connect as the Winner's Curse comes out. Universe, he breaks the blink again. There's the Ravage, connects on 2, toss back, and SVG will go down. EG with a lot of reinforcements. Their whole squad is here as they grab MSS. 2 dead on the side of Forward Gaming. Looking to pursue into more, but Yawar tosses an arrow, 1 more leap. He's going to be able to make it out.
These bounty rune fights have just become so prevalent as of late. EG ready to respond there. Fly again, great curse. Much better than this first one in the game, I suppose, but so far this match just playing pretty much flawlessly on this Winter Wyvern. I feel like he's done everything for his team. He's 2-0-5 and just really securing things. Now level 9 because he's just been kind of parking in lanes too. And a nice chunk of experience for himself, even over crit.
Yeah, both supports actually doing pretty well in terms of economy. We'll see more rotations mid now from Forward. They want to defend this tower. Sumail gets low.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
But that's going to be straight to his death. S4 decapitates him. Now catches the taunt onto the Morphling. Wards come down, and they're going to grab crit on the back line. Yawar getting another one on the scoreboard. Despite Universe TPing a little aggressively, they still clean it up.
It kind of works.
And they get the tower. They defend their own tower and get the enemy tier 1.
Yeah, it takes a lot of attention, some skills thrown down by EG, and they're able to capitalize. I mean, that's taking a fight without Ravage too, which is difficult enough. So the Snakes will find their use to another tower, but maybe thinking about a little bit more aggression here as Sumail shows up for the Shrine, and they will smoke right away.
Fly with 1,300
So
gold.
they have a great ward here. Sees the Shaman, the Tide, and the Morphling. Morphling towards the Ancients. Is that where they want to go? Or they want to try just a quick pick on the SVG?
Looks like
Take the easy one.
Will be the ladder. Yep, down he goes.
Moonlight going to end up being wasted too because of that.
Easy pick for Sumail. I think a Blink Dagger in the hands of Fly feels particularly scary this game. He's been getting great counter initiations without it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough call for him this match, actually. Not sure if the Glimmer might be better. A lot of magic.
Yeah,
I kind of like the Blink just because of the staying out of Ravage range, too. And you can help like turn fights when they try and focus in after Ravage. So I think Blink should be the item, actually. But speaking of Blinks, S4 will at least have his. And it's been a lot of action coming the way, like, from EG. It seems that Forward Gaming kind of stuck playing off of these cooldowns right now, whereas that is not an issue for Evil Geniuses. You have an Axe and a Tiny, the Skywrath Mage. Really not a lot of cooldowns they have to play around with whatsoever, and they're all just creating space for Arteezy at the moment. They're trying to bait something out here up top, just a creep wave hitting the tower, very casual, hoping that someone's going to TP and respond, that Axe can jump on top of it. S4 will now cave in, grab the wave, and the opposite side, the aggressive act is now coming because they have the Ravage, they have the Snakes, but they're going to arrow the Alpha Wolf.
Almost. Close, but no cigar.
F ward not going to pay off there. SVG will try and sneak in another one, but he is very much spotted because of this observer ward here.
Pretty likely to be dewarded. S4 blinking forward. Battle Hunger will be dispelled by the other shock. Not going to get the catch they were looking for there.
Meanwhile, wrapping around here, though, Universe on the way out.
We'll have teleport in just a second. We'll be a little bit close, but should be able to make it.
Oh,
Avalanche
man.
just barely misses.
Ooh. Pipe first for our Prophet. I mean, Buckler and Pipe, so just kind of aura base right into the Crimson.
Pipe Crimson. Yep.
One of the benefits of Nature's Prophet, of course, can pretty much itemize into anything.
Yeah, I mean, they've already got a pretty team fight-centric lineup.
It'll definitely be better if you just want to TP in the middle with the enemies again. You know, that's the way to build if that's what you're
true.
doing.
Oh, and also, the Tidehunter's going for mech will eventually be Guardian Greaves. They're just very much itemizing for team fights. They want to group up, they want to fight together, they want to use this Ravage to get an edge in the mid-game. It's a very small net worth lead for Forward right now, but they're trying to make it a lot more.
I think the timing's a little dangerous. I mean, they have the lead, right? Like, Sumail hasn't been popping off that hard. He's 4-1-3, but it's not like this constant barrage of kill after kill after kill because of how much they've been clumping and grouping. And now they're going to snake into the Roche Pit here, finding a great moment because of all this damage. And anytime you have a Morphling, if there's some way to just tank it or stun him up like this with a 5-second arrow, Morph is great.
This is one of the great benefits to having a Tidehunter in a scenario like this. EG need to be a little cautious about committing into the pit.
Oh, it's getting really awkward, though. Rezo's getting bashed up in here. He's kind of low on HP. There's an Axe nearby. A Winter Wyvern now, too.
Roche still at about 30% HP. They're not killing it that quickly. S4 jumps in. He gets hexed immediately. The Tidehunter silenced, being very cautious and waiting the opportunity to ravage. Fly jumps in, uses that Winter's Curse. Still all 10 alive. As Arteezy gets caught in the back line, Yawar finds the opening.
This is his hero.
More silence is coming out on the Tidehunter. They're not making it easy for MSS, but it doesn't matter. EG in a little bit of trouble.
Attentional MSS.
There's the mech. Ravage comes out. It does connect on the Tiny as well as S4. 3 down on the side of EG. Forward now headed right back to the pit.
Oh, and right back to life. It is S4. And Universe actually TP's right up there. He's ready to just kind of find him. He's going to right-click him. Say, good luck blinking, dude.
Great play from Universe. He's going to make the space needed to secure this Roche for his team. It is going to go down at the 20-minute mark, and Aegis of the Immortal ends up in the hands of Resolution. Very nice.
That looked like, I mean, love to see how Yawar played that fight, too, because we talk about the threat of the Ravage, the threat of the Black Hole from these two big heroes, and never more evident than a fight like that. Crit, he has one concern, constantly silencing this Tidehunter. It's like, okay, that's great. He does keep getting it, but we're watching that. It feels like EG were watching that, and Yawar just assassinates in the back line there and picks off Arteezy.
Yep, the big damage dealer.
Could not have been a better hero to 10th pick, I don't think, for Yawar. Hassan Bull coming out. Here's our fight once again here, but you can see just... first off, that Hex instantaneous when S4 jumps in, too.
Yeah,
really
SVG
nice play from
was
SVG.
Just ready and waiting. Keep an eye on the Mirana here. She's on the south side of the screen. She just straight up wraps around with the Moonlight Shadow and basically just solos Arteezy on the back line. It's a great movement.
Yeah, they're constantly just like stunning up. They even tried like a toss play with S4 to maybe make the save there, but it wasn't enough. And there, another silence. And MSS just keeps rolling on forward. And then finally the closing Ravage there to help guarantee the kills on S4 and Sumail.
No surprise to see MSS itemizing eventually towards the Guardian Greaves. He's going to get Blink Dagger first. Speaking of the Devil, he gets caught in the mid lane. It'll be a dead Tidehunter. They slice that watermelon up.
Finding something back here, even if they won't have the Aegis, they can at least claim themselves a tower. But the Moonlight Shadow's used. That will likely drive them back.
Or can they? Forward Gaming, they mount a defense, and that tower will stay up for now.
They're trying to do the same thing top, I think, with SVG. Maybe considering throwing down the snakes here, depending on the defense he sees.
Right now, just a Winter Wyvern. The wrap around the backside. There's the Hex. Wards come down into a shackle. SVG looking like he could even take a solo kill here, but
nice
Universe helps him out with the Wrath of Nature, and now this will be a Tier 2 tower secured.
Punishing that attempt mid there from Evil Geniuses, just saying, I don't think they can respond top. Like, we've got a couple heroes that can maybe leap in and stun if they try and start some TPs, and they'll grab it, and now that is then indeed another aura done here, Pipe and Crimson Guard for Universe.
Resolution clearing up some Necronomicon units mid. Always happy to find that additional farm. Really feeling the impact of SVG's Shadow Shaman this game. He's won 6 and 7 in terms of KDA, but it just feels like he's generally been in the right place at the right time with those wards at the ready.
Unfortunately, when it comes to impact, it feels a lot like last game for old S4.
Yeah.
Can't seem to get anything going for himself. Last game, I feel like he even actually had an easier game because at least he had the opportunity of Sunstrikes to work off of.
And he had the early farm, too.
Yeah, this game, he has the slower farm. He has the Mystic Flares, sure, and he has the Tiny, too. And in fact, it also looks pretty good, but can't seem to get it. Maybe it's because Crit, like, still bootless, too. Kind of hard for him to get around the map quite as fast.
I think some of it is also a testament to the movements of forward. There just haven't been easy openings for S4 to catch anyone. He hasn't really been roaming around with Crit all that much. Feels like Axe really punishes opponents that are maybe lackluster in their positioning, and forward are just not falling victim to that. They are going to find Fly up top. He's going to get hexed again, trying to fly around the trees with the Arctic Burn. Winter's Curse will actually keep himself alive as he blinks back. Very nicely done. Now back to the mid lane. Double damage on Sumail, trying to bring down Resolution. They don't have the damage, and now Universe TP's in. They want to turn this one around. Moonlight Shadow's even been deployed.
The tree grab
stuck
from the
inside of the
Morphling.
Sprout. And it looks like Sumail on the run with a haste rune and a double damage will still survive despite all of that. Meanwhile, Yawar doing Yawar things as he solos down Crit. Looks like S4 will catch him for a counter kill. 1,200 gold for S4.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to call that one not worth, I think, for old UR.
Certainly not. Wards do come down, though, from the Rasta. Oh, don't worry, there's a magnetic field, though.
Man, Universe continuing to tank up, too, versus this Arc Ward. Man, Tiny, he's going to go for the plus 10 armor instead of Treants. I feel like Treant Summon definitely falling off in terms of the talent. And we'll see if the armor can save him.
Sumail inbound, it's too much magic damage, but he actually lives. Compliments of the Pipe and the Crimson Guard. They'll probably be able to bring him down. The Sprout TP, they've got the taunt on the outside. And S4 secures the kill for his team, but Universe absolutely makes him work for it.
Well, we'll call that the space talent right there.
Space talent.
Definitely survived longer than one would expect. Now Rezo.
Oh yeah, he walks up to the high ground here. I think he'll be able to make it out, but not the dream. Remember, he still does have Aegis, although it's about to expire in a couple seconds here. He's going to get a free regen rune out of it. Timing couldn't be better.
So in terms of objectives, only the bottom tier 2 really remaining here, and then the first pokes into high ground. So you would be hoping to try and take a tier 3 before that next Roche, so that you might be able to take care of the shrines and make it relatively easy for yourselves. If you're forward gaming, if you're EG, you'd like to just get a second tower. That would probably feel pretty good.
That would definitely feel good. Arteezy's farm is still really impressive, though, Trent. 17K net worth. Next highest is 12K on the Morphling.
Yeah, I mean, the start he was given was just essentially at a free lane for an incredibly long time. Free lane all the way from Necro into Midas. So it's no wonder that he's so farmed and far ahead, but...
Can they transition this into any objectives?
I kind of wonder with Sumail. I feel like it's just, what happened? You know, he's getting countered, I guess, by the idea of just all these auras built up by the Prophet. Like, that's a hero he's kind of hoping to pick off. And the smoke ganks that they've been attempting... Again, there's another ward down here. I feel like every time that they're grouping up, it's going to be spotted, but they'll find the D ward. But still, you can't just like smoke up and now go, you know?
Absolutely. Sumail basically just been able to pick on this Shadow Shaman. That's the only target that's been able to fall victim to the combo. Everyone else is a little too tanky. I guess Morphling, depending on the scenario, but Rezo's had very good positioning. He stayed back and has not been feeding away his life. Still a very tight game, only a 1K net worth favor for forward, 15-14. Not surprising to see this elimination game 3. Both teams playing like they need it.
Who will be the second North American team to join J-Storm in heading home?
A lot on the line in this one.
And a smoke now used here. There was some vision here in the mid lane, so kind of saw some heroes mulling about, then suddenly no heroes, so perhaps some concerns. And yeah, the ping comes out from Sumail as they saw Rezo, who was not smoked, fading in to the invis. So they check near the Roche pit. And Radiant also scanning. They find some heroes to ward on the high ground.
SPG gets the vision. MSS with a huge ravage on the whole team. Crit goes down first, and the follow-up damage is there. Resolution finishing off S4 as the rest of forward chase down EG. Arteezy falls. Fly buys himself some time with the cold embrace, but he is out of options, except the winner's curse. That'll buy him a little more time. The blink away. He will live, but a disastrous fight for EG. 3 down, a perfect ravage from MSS. That's a fiver.
Yeah, you can't get any better than that when you're playing the old Tide Hunter, but the person who's really impressing me in all these engagements, it's Yawar. Again, he's identifying exactly the target he needs to go for. That time, it's Fly. Fly, he's on the outskirts of that Ravage. He's the person who can turn that fight around just with a single curse. They might be able to bring down someone like Rezo, or perhaps Yawar right away himself, but he pops the BKB, just runs right at that Winter Wyvern.
Some buybacks available for EG. Both dead heroes can get back into the game. Nature's Prophet just survives through the damage. Forward, a little bit low on resources. Sumail caught by the cold embrace.
Oh,
S4 jumps in, but the Hex from SVG,
It saves
he's
him.
there, and out goes the TP.
Oh.
Universe survives.
SVG is going to feed his life away, say, take me, not my team.
So worth
Hand
it, though.
the tips over, my
They
team.
Force the buyback and only get the Shadow Shaman. Talk
Beautiful
about
Hex.
the right place at the right time.
Well, after all that,
Incredible.
though, that doesn't mean they weren't able to secure any sort of a tier 3 or anything, but, oh, Universe, yeah. He's been dodging the ganks from Sumail. Okay. Not so much from the Arc Warden there, as Arteezy will try and further his position at the top. That's a lot of gold, actually, about 778.
Yeah, not too bad for EG. S4 gets a free courier, a couple clarities on it, but the dunk will find it. Now Resolution, he's going to get caught as well.
No way.
Waveform down to the bottom. I don't know how he lived through that, but he did. Seriously, how did he live?
I didn't just kind of, I mean, a combination of his item build and then a little bit of pure luck at the end that there just weren't enough spins or enough damage back on him. And I mean,
Okay.
he got real low with that Manta into the waveform.
I have to say, though, that whole fight with the 5-hero Ravage, SVG is what made the whole thing possible.
That's true with that ward. That was a nice play.
Rotation into the tree line and putting that little ward down. That little guy, he set it up. MSS was there, just there for the alley-oop.
Well, at this point, Roche, I believe, is that almost instantaneous? Because it's right up now.
Yeah, it was a quick one.
So we still have everything available for the Radiant, except Moonlight Shadow, I suppose. But of course, the Snakes and the Ravage being the most important two.
Guardian Greaves up at 150 gold for MSS. They will jump onto the Shadow Shaman, be a quick pick onto SVG.
Oh, but Sumail arrowed.
Potential Ravage coming out as well. The silence about to expire. It's going to catch 2. They bring down Sumail. Fly likely to go down next. S4 trying to make it away, but he will get chased down by the Morphling. Although the TP out will be successful. It's a 1 for 2. Forward finding the advantage there.
Yeah, but they use that Winter's Curse too, so if they do head into the Roche Pit now, one of the key tools for Evil Genius is not going to be available. And the pings from Rezo come out.
And they still have the Rasta awards. Could be a blessing in disguise that the Rasta got picked first. So he's going to be able to come back and they'll have that option to move into the Roche Pit.
I mean,
They're
they could
so
also
inclined.
just keep running forward here.
MSS takes a lot of damage as the Mystic Flare comes out. S4
There's nothing left for him,
grabs
though.
the Maranas. They have enough damage to bring him down. Yawar falls first. MSS on the high ground as Resolution comes in. Crit goes down. He'll buy back. Universe on the low ground, trying to put in as much damage as he can, but forward, running low on resources. Rezo turns into Axe. Axe reinitiates. Moonlight Shadow comes out as Rezo is getting very low.
Oh, they're crumbling right now. They're going to put the Snakes in there to try and finish off S4 and get something, but now it's Universe trying to TP on home.
Forward
Oh, the
losing a
shackle.
lot here. The shackles from SVG will allow his friend to escape. SVG will also get away unscathed. Forward minimizing their losses, but feeling the power of that Arc Warden. He's got the Scythe of Ice now, and it made a big difference.
That's a really costly buyback on your big snowballing core, though. Yawar falling down even behind Universe now at this point. Not progressing a whole lot past that BKB. Things just got a little bit weird there.
It really did.
MSS keeps on chasing, and I didn't think they'd have the damage in the end. Yeah, you can see MSS kind of like wanders up in this hill, and they throw down like the Mystic Flare and everything. I'm like, okay, MSS is dead, but then my concern was that they wouldn't be able to actually finish Yawar with the axe, but that Blade Mill to the vast majority, and then a couple of lobs in there
A lot of
from
damage from
Arteezy.
Arteezy.
And then Rezo gets kind of oddly shoved off to the side because, I mean, there's like 3 heroes essentially with a Tempest double, so it feels weird for him to go in there. But now a Hex there and a long-range arrow as once again Arteezy will find Universe in the almost exact spot.
And they grab Fly on the other side. So 1-for-1 around the map, but another advantage for EG. They've now taken the net worth lead. You look at that gold graph, and it tells a pretty scary story for Forward fans around the world, or maybe just in North America.
It's not too bad, though. I mean, at least in terms of the net worth, it's never been too high one way or the other. I think the major concern for me is just the single
buyback. It's kind of been mitigated. So.
Yeah, the single target focus of like Forward Gaming. If they can just take down RTZ, I mean, I say it's so easy, but
yeah, if they can just take down the Arc
he is a massive percentage of EG.
Yeah, he's 10K net worth up on the Morphling. I'd certainly say so. Tempest double up on the high ground. The Hex, the right clicks, but Moonlight Shadow will be there. Tempest double gets Hex.
He's like, there's no value of this Tempest double here, but down it goes.
Really feels like EG are taking control.
I hope you guys like Roche fights. We got a good one brewing for you here.
We've got the Ravage and the Guardian Greaves now. This Tide has fallen victim to a lot of silences from that Ancient Seal. Will be a different scenario in this next fight.
So
also, the Aether Lens out on Fly. Huge item for this Winter Wyvern.
There's pretty much two heroes that love these scenarios, and they're Arc Warden and Nature's Prophet, right? Like these mulling about the Roche Pit fights, and everyone's trying to stay close and keep getting good wards down, counter their sentries with your sentry, and their ops with your ops, and all those. But while that's happening, where does this Nature's Prophet want to be? Anywhere else. Pushing these other lanes, being ready to TP into the fight if it actually pops off. And Arteezy, he also wants to be punishing here with this Arc Warden. So far, though.
So much pressure on Arteezy right now. Both Sumail and S4 very low on net worth. Feels like their item progression is really stymied here. It is all about Arteezy in these fights. He's going to go for the data list, so big time damage. But they have to take these engagements properly to realize the power of their Warden. MSS, down to about 50 HP from the Tempest double. Okay.
50 HP?
50%. 50%. Yeah, that's the key word there.
Pretty important, that phrase.
But the point is the same. Tempest double is scary.
I mean, they're just trading back and forth. It's the real Arteezy in the bottom lane, and then it gets shoved back out by the real Universe. And ooh, that is a lot of damage now on Arc Warden. He's already been lobbing them from the back line. So a lot of pressure on MSS to try and find that moment. The saves that they have are the counter initiations of the Wyvern and the Axe. So he's hoping to get at least one of them in that Ravage along with the real Arteezy.
Right now only one BKB out for EG. It's on S4's Axe. Obviously the go-to tool against the Ravage.
Yeah, speaking of which, you can see Resolution also very close to his BKB.
Treants in the Roche Pit. Like the Universe is keeping eyes here to make sure they know if EG sneaks in.
Arcane Rune Arc Warden. Absolutely disgusting. Uh-oh. So many spark rates. And Moonlight Shadow. Let's finally be the move to break things up here.
Both teams hungry for Roche right now. The smoke forward.
Oh, a stray arrow.
Does connect onto S4. This kind of reveals the
They're
smoke.
not pulling the trigger, though. The double sentry's placed down.
Winner's Curse onto the Shadow Shaman. On the other side, the Morphling gets caught. He goes down immediately. Buyback, but they'll also lose SVG. It is a 4v5. EG finally getting this opening they've been waiting for so long.
A few too many sentries, though, from SVG. He doesn't have the buyback to return to this game with the Snakes. Maybe something they could use to try and fight in the pit. They still have Ravage. They really want to go.
They have to let this one go, I think.
Sumail's just playing right inside those spark rates, trying to force the fight into them. Universe is already down bottom. It doesn't even look like they're going to get a trade out of this.
Yeah. Roshan at about 50% already. That bottom tier 2 is pretty low. We've got a lot of Treants pushing in.
Yeah, missing the +4 Treants right about now, I'd say. Because the 10 armor hasn't been helping him on the Arc Warden ganks, that's for sure.
Yep. Like the positioning here from EG, making sure there's no smoke rotation, just letting Arteezy and S4 sit inside the pit. They do manage to get that bottom tier 2, so small gain for Forward, but EG now vastly in control, 8K net worth advantage.
Also take their tier 1 top.
They might just keep this train rolling and look for a tier 2.
There's a line here from SVG. He's saying, we're trading. Just try and run down bot. Only show the Nature's Prophet perhaps. Okay, they're going to show the Morphling, but they're going to try and throw Snakes on the high ground down here.
Morphling takes a little damage from that Tempest double. Resolution really needs that BKB.
Wow, SVG just barely staying out the creep wave vision here. He is moving in forward, trying to create some sort of an opportunity for them here.
This is the real RTZ pushing forward in the lane. Needs to be a little careful. He could get caught here. They ping it out. The TP, they don't have eyes.
If only he gone for the other high ground.
Now on the other side, EG, they've made it to the tier 3. They've got a double siege creep. They force a glyph immediately. And this plan from forward to stay aggressive might not be as successful as they hope.
Oh, and they
Shadow
even send the
Shaman.
RTZ Tempest double in.
A lot of damage onto MSS. They'll relegate him to the well.
They're trying to make a play bottom with these snakes, see if they can counter. And in fact, their tier 3 does survive. The strategy might work here.
They haven't made it to the base quite yet, and Crit.
It feels like they need a smoke or something on MSS. Like he needs to like try and wrap around and cancel TPs or something with the Ravage, if that's really the big play they're going for.
SVG being a little bit conservative here with the wards, making sure he doesn't overcommit in case they have to come back. Arrow will connect onto the Tempest double, but the tier 3 does go down. Once again, favoring Evil Geniuses.
Oh my God, this Tempest double is doing so much work on MSS.
This Tide is going to live, but they force a Moonlight Shadow now.
Rezo back down bottom, looking at Crit. They want a quick blast here.
SVG charges in. He's going to be able to grab him with the Hex. Resolution's there with the follow-up, but they'll let him live as they see S4 TP in. There's the BKB, Blade Mail. Sumail also joining the party. SVG likely to be the first to fall, and he will. Now the Morphling caught by the Yules. The follow-up Hex. There is no option for Rezo. And forward get completely punished. 2 down, no buybacks. Now on the other side, RTZ with the Tempest double. Might be able to find a kill on the MSS. Guardian Greaves are there, and Yuar will have the damage.
Unable to find the BKB there from Rezo. Can't get his moment.
Brutal for the Morphling.
Impressive stuff from EG, just taking that Roche fight, moving forward from there. And desperation plays being attempted. S4 not able to grab that snag there, but
Arc Warden getting to that stage where he's feeling pretty close to capped out. Butterfly queued up, still with the Aegis in tow. Definitely could pick up the Moon Shard, but RTZ is absurdly farmed,
he
Trent.
truly is. He's doubling up.
34K net worth.
Yeah.
Doubling up at 40 minutes, no less.
That's pretty hard to believe, especially because this Morphling's like pretty well farmed, you know?
Yeah.
But he's a Morphling and he's a Nature's Prophet. In fact, he kind of fulfills both roles, frankly.
Again, with this Tempest double, just
It's-
charging in, relegating 3 heroes to the well
It's
within their own
unbelievable.
base.
And he just like drops the vision down here casually too, throwing some spark rates all
I mean,
around.
that's another free tier 3 tower. They've got a Ravage, but they don't
S4's
want to
just
fight.
ratting top too. They
Looking
look to be out of
very
options.
good for EG. Still 25 seconds till this Morphling's back. They know the buyback's on cooldown. Not going to be up for another 3 minutes.
They're playing for a bottom lane of Rax that still has a tier 2. This feels terrible for them right now. But nothing they can do without Rezo. They just know that it's not going to be a good fight. And the Arc Warden Tempest double just continues to control 3 heroes at once.
Unreal what this hero can do with this kind of farm. Top lane of Barracks secured for EG. 1 lane standing between them. Well, I guess a tier 2 and a lane standing between them and Megas. 17K net worth. Starting to feel like EG will have this one unless forward can dig deep.
Yeah, you can see it's just fallen off ever since that first Roche fight.
Wow. So what's the play for forward? They need to start assuming some risk to try to get back in this one. What's the option here, Trent?
Yeah, the pickoff situation is very difficult because the Arc Warden is able to play so safe. I mean, he can basically just stick with his team right now at this point. He also has Boots of Travel too, so he can be completely on the opposite side of the map and still join with both himself and his clone, which is very dangerous for the side of Forward Gaming. And RTZ's just going to see himself right back to the base to guard that lane.
Upgraded to the BOT's level 2 now. RTZ can just TP into the front line.
Yep.
Smoke used as the Aegis gets reclaimed. Forward, looking for an opening here. They will rotate towards that bottom lane. Not going to find many enemy heroes, though.
It's essentially desperation maneuvers, hoping that there's going to be an Arc Warden to try and gank this Nature's Prophet.
There's a 10-second BKB now on RTZ at 43 minutes.
I'm very disappointed to see that is not the real Arc Warden.
Tempest double. But he will clear out the creep wave. And that's going to stop this push party.
And look at the dire scan too. Just trying to figure out exactly where are they lurking. What is the play they're attempting to make? And when that scan doesn't hit on their own plateau, S4 just circles exactly where forward are playing. And Reza revealing himself in the wave, likely to confirm his suspicions here.
Arteezy doing a great job just delaying this push.
Surprised they even got one creep wave here, to be honest, but with the Arc Warden, very hard to just drop snakes and hope for something. SVG would certainly be doomed to die. He has no buyback, and even if he got a tier 3, it seems pretty unlikely they're going to find their way to the top shrine to do anything about it.
Right.
EG so patient, just waiting. They know that eventually someone from 4 Game is going to walk out here, and they're actually going to smoke to meet them now.
The wraparound play, Universe, the only one, not with the rest of forward. Can always teleport in.
How fast will you RB with this BKB
Sumail
arrow?
on the front line. Arteezy, that's the Tempest double, jumps in onto the Tidehunter. Hex, S4 is there, he's got a decent call. He's made up for the missteps prior as Resolution and MSS get obliterated.
We'll call that redemption. He also scouts out the Mirana for the Hex from Arteezy. S4 redeemed. Triple
down.
kill to put a stamp on game 3 here.
2 without buyback. Yawar does have his available, but feels like the beginning of the end for Forward Gaming. The line has been drawn, and EG, they want to take this tier 2 and secure their megas. SVG looking for the TP home. He will not make it in time. The Tempest double gets there. Good night for Rasta.
Oh, now the EG tipping each other is starting to feel a little jovial, I'm sure. Fly playing inside the base at this point. Forcing the buyback out of your wire here. Evil Geniuses. Tier 2, and then one last lane.
There is a glyph available for forward. They are going to lose this tier 2. Backdoor is broken, and Sumail will just womp it down with that big old willow he's picked up. Morphling does have a buyback, won't be forced to use it, so he will have 2 lives in this next engagement, but this tier 3 falling very quickly just to Arteezy.
And they're going to find with bots 2 up top with S4. They got Universe.
Oh, down he goes.
They played
Buyback.
so well around this Arc Ward in this game. Like they were stalling a little bit here, but Arteezy, of course, was always at the top. And even though the other 2 cores were well below almost everyone on Forward Gaming, it didn't matter. They were so ready and the time counted to win that big fight in their own base. And there they go onto Arteezy.
Ravage, they know how important this kill is, and they will bring him down. It's a good setup, but they've got very little gas left in the tank. The BKB Morphling locked down by S4. Resolution will turn into Axe himself. Winner's Curse onto the Nature's Prophet. Not
S4
doing
to
too much
follow.
damage, but it sets up for the Axe. Gets the call on 2. It's a dead Prophet, soon to be a dead Tidehunter. Buyback now used by MSS. This is going to be the final hold for forward. The Morphling also follows suit. Buyback used there, but Megas will be secured despite the roster boards being used. EG with all 5 still alive, tightening their grasp around forward. Feeling very good about their trek through the lower bracket. Soon to eliminate their other NA brethren. The buybacks have been used. It's a 5v3 forward, ready to give it all they've got, but it's not much. The Tempest double, relegating the 3 back towards the well as the tier 4s get chopped down.
A familiar sight here. The old Tempest double running into the fountain. Finishes off SVG. It wasn't harsh enough already. And Sumail ready to just throw some people out of the well here as MSS one last leap in there. And
Final hurrah to the end of the watermelon, and the GG will be called by Yawar as the throne expires. An intense 3-game series, but it is Evil Geniuses that secure the win.
your
And
Hassan
Forward
Bowl,
Gaming will be eliminated.
Hassan Bowl 7 champions. Evil Geniuses. Sumail coming out on top.
An epic series. Good that Forward were able to make that first game look so good, but EG showing a lot of resilience in this series and really a pretty impeccable performance around that Arc Warden in Game 3.
Yeah, right to the very end too. Like even that last play, the way that they send, this is like the old school counter to Tidehunter was essentially, well, buybacks. I mean, when Faces Void Tidehunter were played all the time, before this lovely refresher shard and whatnot, if you can't get an Aegis, you just bait them out and then instantly buy back. Like why else is Arteezy just kind of standing there? Like, perfectly played to close out the game, giving absolutely no option right to the very end for Forward Gaming. And man, I can't believe how well they stalled that game out. Super
Yeah.
impressive stuff for EG. Definitely looking like the team we were expecting.
Absolutely. So with that said, we're going to close things up here and head back to our panel for their final thoughts.
Thanks, guys. What a third game of the series. Arc Warden is on the menu for the next couple of days, I would imagine, after today's performances. And of course, RTZ playing it perfectly. Here to discuss the third game, we got BSJ, Piladai, and Gods. Gentlemen, EG, they do it in the end. Maybe not in the way that we were expecting them to, because I actually thought forward. For a long time, I thought they had it.
Started very strong.
Me
and-
too.
I mean, they got a ball rolling. They were securing Roshans. The Serpent Wards from Ras were being used to take objective after objective, towers, Roshan. But at some point, you know, this Arc Warden just accelerates. I think it's like 20-ish minutes in where Arc Warden gets the Midas after the Necro Book, and at that point, Arc Warden's kind of equal in farm with Morphling. But then another 10-15 minutes later, Arc Warden's like 5-6k gold ahead of the Morphling.
Yeah. No, what seems to be stupid with this is like when he farms his trifecta there, especially on Dire, like, and he puts 2 Spark Wraiths down, you actually can't gank him. Like, it's literally impossible. Like, you're gonna run into that Spark Wraith. So, yeah, I don't know what you do. Like, you need to make sure he doesn't have a lane. Like, because he kind of had free farm this game.
He had
so I
free farm,
guess
yeah.
that's what you have to stop. So, like, you delay his timings and you can chase him better.
The crazy thing is, you mentioned the ganks. It's like you smoke, you Moonlight
Yeah.
Shadow. Oh, doesn't matter. It hits you.
Yeah. It's a bit frustrating, yeah.
Yeah, you talk about the Arc Warden, and I'm not going to elaborate any more on that because I agree. I feel like this game, you see a Morphling against Arc Warden, that matchup's rough. And one thing that is not factored in when you just look at the 2 carry heroes is the fact that you have this Axe who has way more impact than this Nature's Prophet. Like I said in the draft, I didn't want to see Nature's Prophet core. It's just like, how do you play it against Wyvern, Arc Warden, Axe? Like, you're just going to get picked off over and over again. You like in the early game, you have a support that's able to stop your split pushing, and like Universe went for this like utility build, which I think is the best he can do. But you just felt no impact from Universe that game, and I think it's not like a player thing. That's just the hero he's on.
I'd still argue though, Tide as a core doesn't change much. Like that's a hero that also isn't going to be able to solve their problems as a core.
I guess that's a drafting issue then, because like you saw the Axe and the Arc Warden when you saw the Prophet. Like I don't know, that just felt a little odd to me. And I felt like there wasn't a Prophet in this game. They wanted it to like hunt the Arc Warden, I think, was the idea behind it that we mentioned.
No, but they get like dove every tier 1 tower, I believe. Like it didn't stop Arc Warden from farming at all though, but like he did stuff and then like he couldn't do stuff anymore. That's kind of how it went. Like I guess they wanted to finish the game, as you said, when they completed Pipe Crimson. But I don't know, at that point like they didn't feel like they could fight, so they were just split pushing.
And going in all in on a timing is always very risky to do.
Yeah.
Especially in the third game of a series.
Yeah, Morphling against Arc Warden seems garbage too. After
Yeah,
watching it,
that's
I wasn't
pretty bad.
100% sure going into this game, but you can't build Lincolns because he just has his first ability to break it, and then you just get hexed as the game goes on, and that just seems real rough as Morphling to be playing against double hex on a hero that doesn't even have to be there. Like it can just be his clone.
It's tough. Like you are in the Mirana played a great game. S4 did not have a great game with Axe, but
Yeah.
at some point Axe just catches this Mirana in a fight, and Mirana is dead. Doesn't matter how many mistakes have been made before that point. And
The stronger you become, the faster Axe kills you.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the silly thing is like it was literally a one on like RTZ like carried this game by himself, right? Like obviously he didn't win all by like the team helped out, right? So
Sure.
he has these 2 guys who only like they have no farm, they're just stuns, and then like they stun for him and he kills everybody. So like it's kind of I don't know if any hero but Arc Warden could have done this. I don't think so.
Yeah, I was talking to Brian. I was like, it feels like this first 2 Arc Warden, this hero is better than TB right now, maybe, and people just weren't realizing it, for example, because TB was the carry for the group stage, and now it's like, wait a second.
All the
let's-
other carries just AFK jungle for 20 minutes. Why not have a hero with double Midas, double Necrobook
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
he does it?
Overall, strong performance from EG.
And from forward.
From forward as well.
This
Yeah.
team's good. Like, look out for them in future tournaments. They had a tough bracket here.
They did.
But they'll be back. I don't think they're a team that needs to be like, making changes or anything right now.
One North American team left in the running here. That is that Sky BSJ? You get confidence? You guys?
They got this.
They got this?
Strongest region in the world, in our own minds.
They got this.
Don't
We'll be
laugh
going
at
up
me.
against fellow Arc Warden pickers in the next round. We'll be
Yeah.
the Abed versus Arteezy. Who's going to get some Arc Warden going?
I think whoever's second pick should ban it in that series.
Yeah, he's gonna
Yeah,
be first
'cause
phase
it's-
Because I don't
material.
think you want to first
First
to it as
fir-
second pick. You want to second pick it when
Mm.
you're first pick.
No, or do you first pick it?
All right.
Maybe
cool.
it's his first overall pick.
If we get first pick Arc Warden,
What would
this
you
time,
What would you pick though? Like honestly, if they first picked an awkward one.
I mean, if
That's
PL's
what they're
back,
going to be
if-
thinking about tonight.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yes.
that's going to be the whole deliberation.
I
Because
think PL's the one obvious
But-
carry that you feel good
Yeah,
about.
Is,
PL.
is it obvious enough though? Like I don't know.
I don't know. Centaur and Arc Warden are the two heroes for me right now. That, like you said, when they picked, just like,
Yeah.
what do you pick?
Well, don't know. What do we pick for MVP? That's the question right now, and I think we already know. I mean, was it the hero? Was it the man behind the hero? It definitely was Arteezy that showed up today to play, and he did good. You know, he used the space well, used the time well. Also, the game that they lost on his Luna, still a pretty solid performance regardless of how the rest of the team did around him.
Yeah, it felt like that wasn't really in his hands. He was
Yep.
pressured all lane, and then the Spectre had free farm, so
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to bring it, like, put it on the carry's shoulders that game. Very impressive Arc Warden's performance. I think that hero's like early to mid game is the only hard part, and he's played a ton of this hero and just put on a clinic with it.
Yeah, it's looking pretty solid. Here is some of his play from his player perspective. Feel like we've seen a lot of those from Arc Warden today.
Yeah.
And just solid.
Right clicking those. heroes,
Right clicking those heroes. He's got it.
That's a nice stand by Crit.
Yeah,
No, so we're talking about Arteezy here.
Yeah, sorry.
Please, no. Some nice
Sorry.
right clicks.
those right clicks are pretty great.
Yeah.
Look at him.
His
Yeah,
itemization was really good, though, I think, too.
Yeah.
Like, you can't take that away from him. After, you know,
I
obviously-
kind of do want to take it away from him. Did he invent this build?
I'm saying,
You
like,
know,
the,
we
the
can
Necro.
we can
Minus
ask if
Necro,
he
Mjolnir,
invented this
like-
build
Sure.
because
Didn't he go-
we're with
Okay.
Arteezy right now.
All right.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
The first question apparently is, did you invent this build on the Arc Warden?
I would say I stole it from Thompson, but then I reinvented it because I think he stopped doing it, or at least I stopped watching his pub, so I'm not sure if he still does it. But also CSNC told me about the Necro one. I remember when he stood in, so I tried it in a few pubs and it felt pretty good.
Well, it seemed to work out just fine. Do you enjoy playing Arc Warden? Is that a hero that you're having fun on?
Yeah, because I feel like I could always swing the game like individually. Like I can do a lot of things, whether it's like wave manipulation or like some pulling waves, putting Mjolnir and Necro, like all these little things I like doing in Dota. And Arc Warden's like perfect because you can do it twice. Like you can double force staff, you can do all these like, of course you got double Midas too. But I don't know, it's just a really fun hero.
Yeah, I have another Arc Warden question.
Okay.
Isn't the hero completely broken? That's what. When you were farming the trifecta and you have one stupid ghost blocking the smoke path, like what is
Uh-huh.
that? Come
But
on,
it's like kind of bugged, you know, like sometimes I see the ghost like disappear. I just hear the ghost sound and I'm like, okay, I guess they're coming, and then I just run away. But sometimes it just like disappears. I don't hear anything.
All right.
So you gotta have some map
So
awareness.
hope for
So
that.
you said you enjoy playing a lot. How does your team enjoy it? Are they having fun while you're doing Arc Warden things? Do they get to have play Dota?
I don't know. I think so. You would have to ask them, but I feel like they're
Okay.
enjoying it. I just say I'm going in, guys, and then I like it's like zero risk. My clone just goes in, breaks a smoke, you know, gives vision for them. So I think it's enjoyable to have an arc on your team. It's not enjoyable to play against one. Though.
No.
No.
Yeah.
I think everybody can agree on that. Brian, you have any questions?
Yeah, what do you have to say for all the NA fans that stayed up, you know, what is it, like 5 a.m. or something for them? Get to watch you play some Arc Warden, farm up some creeps, the dream, the Arteezy special.
I'll just say the classic thanks for all the support. Now we're the last NA team, so we're gonna do it big.
There you go, carry the torch.
I hope, yeah.
I have one more question for you, and it might not be a very fun one because yesterday you guys dropped a series to Ninjas in Pajamas, and that was a rough series for you guys. How did you recover? Like, how was that for your team?
I think we felt like we didn't play, or like our strategy wasn't really exactly how we wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to relook what happened in the groups and how we play in general, and like kind of revision everything that we learned. So I think today we played a bit better, but we're still not exactly strategically there. I think we have a lot to work on. So let's see how it goes.
The EG lower bracket run is typical alive, you know?
Yeah, you got 12 hours to work on it.
12
Something like
hours.
Do I? I thought our match is like, is it late night match?
I don't
No,
know.
it's like what is it?
Midday-ish.
Midday-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Around
Oh.
12,
12:30.
Okay.
12:30,
No.
something like that.
I don't know. I mean,
You guys
Easy.
got it. Bulba,
Easy.
Bulba's special, man.
Yep.
Yeah, congratulations, because that series was well deserved. It was fun to watch.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'm gonna let you get back to your team.
Yeah, I want to sleep.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, that of course was our TZ from EG, who now move forward in the lower bracket. When we can take a look at that bracket, it is a big one, and there are only 8 teams remaining. 4 of them are already waiting in the upper bracket semifinals, which will be played out in the arena in a couple of days. But the lower bracket also has 4 teams, and that is too many to make it to the arena. 2 more will be cut. And of course, today we already cut Alliance, Pain X, J-Storm, and just now Forward Gaming. That leaves us with 2 series tomorrow. TNC Vici, Fnatic EG. Should be a good day, gods.
Yeah, I get to see whether SEA Dota will make it to the main stage here in KL. I'm sure the fans would love to see them there, but 2 tough matches where I would say both SEA teams are probably underdogs.
yeah, I think so too.
But
Not
both,
hu-
I
not-
would say, are very winnable. Like, I
Yeah,
think
not huge
TNC
underdogs.
I think TNC is particularly have played way better than their group stage.
Yeah.
They're much more disciplined, and Vici Gaming haven't been as dominant as like their ESL Hamburg form. So
Yeah, I
we'll
agree.
see.
It has been an exciting day. Brian, what was your favorite moment of today?
Probably the stomps from MSS. The
Oh,
Centaur
I
stomps.
thought you were going to
No,
say
no, no.
series
No,
early today.
yeah, so that
The
was
2 O's.
the
Yeah,
multiple
2 O's.
connotation. You know, the connotations coming. No, the overall, just like I think the highlight for me was just the sudden uprise in Centaur and Arc Warden. Like both, like Centaur over the course of the tournament's been kind of like going up and up, and suddenly just being first picked, and Arc Warden same thing. Like I just like watching those big plays and seeing heroes that are suddenly unbeatable. The patch has been the same. Arc Warden hasn't been changed for 9 months or something, and suddenly he just seems unbeatable.
Yeah, well, there's the way of Dota. You know, the meta constantly evolves. That's why we like it. All right, guys. This was the last series of the day. Tomorrow we will be back. It's going to be 9:30 for the pre-show. If I'm correct, 9:30 Kuala Lumpur time. I'm sure you can figure out when that is for yourself. And we hope to welcome you back then.